We live in a world of endless distractions and instant gratification, where the temptation to take the easy way out is always just a click away. Yet beneath the surface of every meaningful achievement lies a quiet, often overlooked quality: self-discipline. It's not the flashy talent or the lucky break that creates lasting success, but the daily choice to show up, to persist, and to do what needs to be done, even when no one is watching. Self-discipline is often misunderstood. It's not about punishment or deprivation, nor is it some innate gift that only a few special people possess. True self-discipline is simply the ability to align your actions with your intentions, to make choices today that your future self will thank you for. It's the bridge between goals and accomplishments, the steady hand that turns dreams into reality. The foundation of self-discipline begins with clarity. Without a clear vision of what we want to achieve and why it matters to us, discipline has nothing to anchor itself to. Imagine trying to push a car up a hill without knowing where the road leads or why you're pushing in the first place. This is why so many well-intentioned efforts at self-improvement fail. We focus on the discipline itself rather than the purpose behind it. When we connect our daily actions to meaningful goals, discipline stops feeling like a burden and starts feeling like a choice we're excited to make. One of the most powerful aspects of self-discipline is its compounding nature. Just as money grows through compound interest, small disciplined actions accumulate into extraordinary results over time. Reading 20 pages a day might seem insignificant in the moment, but over a year that amounts to 36 books. Writing 500 words a day might feel trivial, but in 12 months you'd have a full-length novel. The magic lies not in any single heroic effort, but in the quiet consistency of showing up day after day. Our modern environment is practically designed to erode self-discipline. Every notification on our phones, every carefully engineered snack food, every auto-playing video is competing for our attention and willpower. In this landscape, cultivating discipline isn't just about personal improvement. It's an act of rebellion against forces that want us distracted and impulsive. This is why creating the right environment is so crucial. We can't rely solely on willpower when our surroundings constantly undermine it. Simple changes like removing temptations from our immediate environment, setting up dedicated workspaces, or establishing clear routines can make disciplined choices the path of least resistance. The relationship between self-discipline and self-compassion is often overlooked. Many people believe that being disciplined means being hard on themselves, but the opposite is true. Lasting discipline grows from self-respect, not self-punishment. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we're more likely to stick with challenging tasks because we believe we're worth the effort. The person who beats themselves up over every slip-up often burns out quickly, while the person who acknowledges mistakes with gentle understanding finds the resilience to keep going. Morning routines have become almost cliché in discussions about discipline, but there's good reason for this. How we start our day often sets the tone for everything that follows. A morning routine isn't about rigidly scheduling every minute or waking up at 4 a.m. because some successful person does it. It's about creating space for the activities that center us and align us with our priorities before the demands of the world come rushing in. For some, this might mean meditation or journaling. For others, exercise or reading. The specific activities matter less than the intentionality behind them. The conscious decision to begin the day on your own terms. Technology has given us unprecedented tools for both distraction and focus. The same devices that pull us away from our work can also help us track our habits, block distracting websites, or connect with accountability partners. The key is to make technology serve our discipline rather than undermine it. Using apps to monitor progress, setting up digital boundaries, or even something as simple as putting our phones in another room during focused work sessions can dramatically increase our ability to stay on track. Self-discipline flourishes when we make our goals public. There's something powerful about declaring our intentions to others that makes us more likely to follow through. This isn't about seeking validation or praise, but about creating gentle accountability. When someone else knows what we're working toward, we're less likely to abandon our efforts at the first sign of difficulty. This could mean joining a study group, finding a workout partner, or simply telling a friend about your writing goals. The social dimension of discipline transforms it from a solitary struggle into a shared journey. The most disciplined people aren't those who never feel like quitting, but those who have learned to work through resistance. There will always be days when motivation is absent, when distractions seem more appealing, when the couch calls louder than the gym or the desk. Discipline isn't about eliminating these feelings, but about developing the ability to act in spite of them. Like a muscle that strengthens with use, our capacity for disciplined action grows each time we choose to do what matters most over what feels easiest in the moment. Rest and recovery are essential components of sustainable discipline. The human brain and body aren't designed for non-stop productivity. Just as athletes must balance intense training with proper recovery, anyone pursuing long-term goals needs to build in time for renewal. This might mean scheduling regular breaks during work sessions, taking one day completely off each week, or planning vacations in advance. Paradoxically, these periods of intentional rest make us more productive and disciplined when we return to our work. Tracking progress provides the feedback loop that keeps discipline meaningful. When we can see the concrete results of our consistent efforts, whether it's pages written, pounds lost, or skills improved, we're more likely to maintain our discipline. This doesn't require complex spreadsheets or fancy apps. A simple calendar where we mark off each day we follow through on our commitments can be remarkably effective. The visual representation of our streak builds psychological momentum, making it easier to continue and harder to break the chain. Self-discipline ultimately comes down to identity. When we see ourselves as the kind of person who follows through, who keeps commitments, especially to ourselves, who does what they say they'll do, discipline stops being something we have to force and becomes simply how we operate. This shift happens gradually, through countless small choices that reinforce our self-image as disciplined individuals. Every time we choose the gym over the couch, the book over the phone, the early morning over sleeping in, we're not just building discipline, we're becoming disciplined. In a culture that glorifies overnight success and instant results, self-discipline is the quiet rebellion that leads to lasting achievement. It's not about dramatic transformations or viral moments, but about the slow, steady accumulation of small choices made day after day. The disciplined life might not always be exciting in the moment, but it leads to the kind of deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you're becoming the person you were meant to be. As we cultivate self-discipline, we discover something surprising. What begins as effort becomes ease. Actions that once required tremendous willpower gradually become automatic. Challenges that seemed insurmountable become manageable. This is the paradox of discipline. By consistently doing what's difficult, we make our lives ultimately easier because we're no longer at the mercy of every passing whim or distraction. The journey of building self-discipline is never complete. There will always be new challenges, new distractions, new temptations to overcome. But with each small victory, each day of following through, we strengthen not just our habits, but our character. And in the end, that may be the greatest reward of all. Not just what we achieve through discipline, but who we become in the process. Self-discipline is the quiet power behind every meaningful accomplishment. It's the choice to plant trees whose shade we may never sit under, to build foundations that others may one day stand upon, to invest in ourselves in ways that may not pay off immediately, but will shape our entire future. In a world of shortcuts and quick fixes, true discipline is rare, and therefore more valuable than ever. The good news is that self-discipline is available to anyone willing to cultivate it. It starts with a single choice, followed by another and another. Not perfectly, but persistently. Not without failure, but with the commitment to keep going anyway. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. Not through magic or luck, but through the daily practice of showing up, doing the work, and trusting the process. In the end, self-discipline isn't about restriction. It's about freedom. The freedom to create the life you want, to become the person you admire, to look back with pride rather than regret. It's the ultimate act of self-respect and the surest path to realizing your potential. And that makes every moment of effort, every act of willpower, every choice to stay the course more than worth it.